Artistically, the only action required to unblock money from coming into your pocket is understanding the power of value for value. What do you bring to the table in exchange for the value that you want? In a nutshell, you have to sell something. You have to have something that someone can buy. You need to have something to sell. Create something at a low cost and sell it at a healthy profit. Repeat it 10,000 times or as many times as you can. And that is called a successful business. The good news is, for us artists, we are one of the very few who can create value out of thin air and sell it at a high profit. So now, let me break it down. Artists, this is the steps that you got to take. Step 1, save money. I don't mean save money in the bank. I mean save your money. Do not overspend money on supplies and art equipment. Whenever you try to start your art business, spend the least amount of money as possible. Having the most expensive product and name brands and equipment doesn't get the art done. The art is about talent. It's about practice. It's about doing it over and over and over, and you get better. It's not a rocket science. It's just a little bit of talent and more practice to build your skills, to sharpen your skills. As long as you spend time doing it, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna learn, try and error, you're gonna come up with your own style. New things will happen every time you stand in front of the art to create. So you don't need to spend a lot of money to do that. Spending a lot of money does not bring the style to you. It doesn't make you a better artist. Doing the work, practicing, putting the brush to the canvas is what gets you better. So I would spend at least as possible amount of money. I just bought these brushes from yesterday. The entire brush cost me like about $5. I didn't go to the art supply store. I went to the hardware store to grab these for super cheap. It gets the job done. If I was to go to my local art supply shop, these would have cost me $20-something. But at the hardware store, it only cost me $5. So that's what I mean by save your money. Do not overspend money on art supply. Just be resourceful and buy things that can get the job done. That's what it's about. That is the essence of having an art business. Spending less and making more. Spending less and making more. That is the whole object of having an art business or building a business on top of your art. Action number 2. The key to success for having an art business or building a business on top of your art is create the art. Create something. Put brushes and the paint onto a canvas. Onto a canvas. Get something done. Bring it here onto the canvas, onto the garment. Create a product. Every time you're creating art, you are creating a product. Your IP product, your intellectual property, something that you have it here. You're just gonna put it right here. You're gonna put it down. And after you do that, you need to show up. Showing up is 95% of the work. If you show up, it's 95% of the sales. You want to sell, you want to learn how to sell. It's not a rocket science. Selling, yes, they have all these strategies, all these tactics. From my 10 years of experience selling outside and selling online, showing up gets 95% of the job done. All you have to do is show up. When you show up, you're selling your art. It's going to impact someone to stop by and make a purchase just to support you. You don't have to do all this convincing, come up with all these words, close them down, doing all this stuff. Showing up is 95% of selling. That's what I have experienced. Now, you're not gonna have the same customers that I have. But what I'm telling you is showing up. It gets 95% of the job done. Creating the art, especially when you're talented and you have the skill, that's all day. But instead of creating the art and leave it in your studio, when you bring it out or when you list it, that is out there ready to be sold. And that gets the 95% of the job done. As far as when somebody sees it, step to you, they like it, even if they're not ready to purchase something, for the fact that they see you doing something, they see you being an artist. People love to support local artists or love to support artists, period. So by just seeing that, they say, you know what, I'm going to support you. And they would just purchase something. They will find something that they can buy at that moment. And that is how a lot of the time sales happen. We are not like a corporate. If you are a corporate America, big corporation, then you're going to have to follow all these sales strategies and all these sales tactics, and you got to close them down. We're just local artists. We just out there expressing our talent and our skills. And somebody who love art and somebody who like to support local businesses and small business, small artists, they see it. They're not even, your strategy doesn't affect them. They just here to support you. So showing up is 95% of the job. Speaking of showing up, I went to a Metropolitan Museum of New York last week, a few days ago actually. I met this young brother. His name is Arnold. He's an artist. And Arnold was out there in front of Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. And he set up and he was selling his work. When I saw that, I was so impressed. I stepped to him and we started having a conversation. And I was like, I'm so proud. I've loved the fact that I've seen you out here doing your thing. He was selling t-shirts. He was selling small canvases like 14 by 14, 11 by 14, 16 by 16, 18 by 24. And I was like, how is it going? He said, oh, I already sold painting today. And the day is still early. But I come out here whenever I have time to set up, and I always sell something. And I said, that's the way to do it. So I started asking, do you collect email addresses? Do you have these people follow you on social media and stuff like that? He was like, yeah. And I was like, that's what you got to start doing. Start taking those things really, really serious. Collect their email addresses, get them to follow you on social, and have them in your community. Have them in your ecosystem where you can always reach them. If somebody buys something from you one time, they're going to always remember that they bought something from you. So if they need something, if they ever need something for a gift to someone, they're going to always reach back to you again. So I was giving them those small tips, like start collecting email addresses, start having them follow you on social, and continue to show up and continue to be here. Let the people see you. Don't be too isolated. Don't be too reserved. Have that smile on your face. Have that. Don't look grumpy. Just look like you have something to sell, and let them come to you. The art will do the talking. When people see that you have the art, they're gonna come and step to you and start having conversation with you based on the fact that you have art and you're an artist. Even if they don't buy anything, that conversation alone goes a long way. And that will allow you to collect their email addresses, and you can reach back to them for any opportunity, any future opportunity for them to reach out to you and make a purchase. So Arnold is out there doing it. And I asked him if he has a website, and I don't think he has a website yet. So, and I said, that's the way to do it. You don't have to wait till you have a website. You don't have to spend money to get website going in order for you to start selling. If you don't have a website, go out there and go sell. And every little bit of sales that comes in can help you stack up some money and set up that website and list your work on there later on. But most important is showing up. Let people see you. So that this is actually the key to success, is showing up, because that's 95% of the sales. I had a lady that actually sent me a message on a comment that she started putting her art in front of her house, and now she got people coming in, knocking and asking for the artist, and she's making some sales, and she couldn't believe that it could have happened like that, or it can happen like that. So she sent me a long note thanking me and saying that it actually is working. And I said, yes, but if you don't show up, you're not telling anyone that you have something to sell. If you don't show up, if you don't exhibit and display your work, you are not telling anyone anything. You are not telling anybody that I have something to sell. By just showing up and displaying your work, it sends out clue that you actually have something to sell, and people will come by. Art, I always say art is a magnet. Art is a magnet. For whatever reason, art just always pulls people in. Every time I'm outside and set up, but maybe it could be because colors, psychologically, colors does something to the human eye. Whether you agree to it or you don't, that's just what it is. So, color theory it's a real thing. So, when colors are put together very well, they project some kind of energy to that person that passing by. When they see those colors, even if they're not buying, it makes them want to come have a conversation or want to engage with that piece. So when you have art out there like that, the chances of people stopping by to have a conversation with you and engage with you, and for whatever reason that can lead into them being interested to make an impulsive decision to make a purchase right there, is huge. And that is a very upside. And that is why showing up is so, I'm so big on that. I champion showing up. And it's the same thing as you see the retailers open up a retail spot on the main street, on the main boulevard. Because when people walking by and they see things, it makes us want to engage. Sometimes you're just walking by, you're not even ready to make a purchase. You see a store, the window display looks so amazing. It makes you just want to walk in there. You chose just to walk in there, just to browse and come back out. Before you know it, you're walking out with a shopping bag in your hand. You made a purchase, impulsive purchase. The same thing is the same thing with showing up with art outside in the street. Online, not necessarily when somebody reposted you and your work gets some kind of virality, some kind of being shared and stuff like that. That also happens. That also happens. But in person, that is all day, especially when there is some kind of a foot traffic in that area. So I champion that heavily, and I highly recommend spending a little bit of money, set up your homemade art studio, get the work done, create the work, and show up in your neighborhood. Show up if you have to get in the car and go downtown, go wherever the action is, and just go show up with no expectation. Even if you don't sell, you're gonna have some kind of engagement. You're gonna connect. You can get some kind of social media followers. You can get email addresses. People will start to know you as an artist. When people start to know you as an artist, that is a branding. You are branding yourself as an artist, and people start to recognize you like, oh, that's the artist. When they see you, they can point a finger and say, oh, he's an artist. Yeah, he does this, he does that. And that's what this whole thing is about. Now, talking about showing up and having something for sale. When I went out to the museum, I wasn't ready. I was just browsing through and just see what's going on. I came across Paul Cézanne's drawings. He's my favorite artist. I came across it. I seen it. I couldn't resist. $60. $60. I purchased this book for $60. I couldn't resist. Now that's an impulsive purchase. I didn't plan. I planned to go to the museum, which I do go every once in a while. That I'm just gonna go browse and see what's going on. But yet, when I was there, I came across this book. Paul Cézanne's drawings, and I grabbed it, and it's paid for it. I wasn't ready to get it, but I got it. And it's the same thing when you go out. People will buy things from you that wasn't part of their plan. They didn't wake up in the morning and say, we're going to go out there to go buy art from this local artist. But when they come out and they see you, your demeanor, your personality, your work, your colors, the way that you actually communicate with them, it makes them feel kind of guilty, like, nah, I need to support this local artist. And then they will support. So showing up, to me, is 95% of the job. When you show up, the piece is already sold 95% already. And then the rest of the 5% is just a little bit of personality, a little bit of communication, a little bit of how you doing, a little bit of complimenting them here and there, and then that's about it. And then a beautiful exchange will happen. And that beautiful exchange is value for value. They value what you got, and you value their money. They give you money. The point number 3 is understanding that art is a vehicle that you can just use to get out of the struggle. You can just use art to get out of the chaos, as long as you have something to sell. If I can go to a museum and they have something to sell, outside of the fact that there's art exhibition, besides all the art displays and art exhibitions, there is something for you to buy. There is always something on sale. And for the fact that that is happening over there, you, as an artist, as a local artist, you should always also have your canvas, but also have something to sell. You should also have something to sell. As long as you're going to always have something to sell, you're going to be okay. As long as you find something to sell and engage in this beautiful exchange, you will be fine. Find a way to exchange art for money. Now that's whether it's going to be a physical stretch canvas, whether it's a loose canvas, whether it's a piece of art that you put in a book, whether it's on a piece of a garment, whether it's on a bottle, what have you. Have something that someone can buy from you as an artist. And if you look at it on the flip side, I always make this analogy, because I think as an artist, we are very fortunate. We are very lucky to be called an artist. Why? It's simply because if you give me $100, give me $100. If you give me $100, I can go downtown, go buy some things for super cheap, go to my local supply store, get some supplies for super cheap, go to the discount store, get some brushes for cheap, and I guarantee you, I can use the brushes and the colors and put things on the canvas, on the garments, or what have you, and sell it, and to make tenfold of that $100, I can turn that $100 into $1,000. That is a promise. That is a guarantee. If you give me $100, I know how to turn that $100 into $1,000, because art can be stretched. These paints, these supplies, you can economize them, you can stretch them, and make so much out of it. So if you look at it, it's almost like we get things done for free and we sell it for money. It's like we pretty much like getting it for free, and then we get money for it. Some of the art supplies that I have here, they've been here for so long, and I keep using them and using them and using them and using them, and they're still here, and they just keep producing income over and over and over and over non-stop. It's kind of like for example, the fisherman. If someone knows how to fish and they go by the river or they go by the ocean and spend a little bit of money, buy some hook, buy some lines, they go by the water, throw the hook in there, and start catching some fish, right? Start catching some fish. The fish is God-given. The fish is nature's. You go in there, catch some fish, and say you go to the fish market and sell it and make money. The only thing you spend is you spend a little bit of money on the hooks and the lines and your time, especially when you enjoy fishing. Like as an artist, we enjoy being in the studio, painting, creating the work. So if you're like me and you enjoy creating the art, then you don't even consider that as a work. That time, you're not saying that, no, I'm putting in my time. That's what you're going to do regardless. If I had known that, so for example, I just got monetized on YouTube, and they sent me an email, and I look at it, and I'm like, I cannot believe. It's not a lot of money, and it's not why I was doing this. I started doing this because I saw a video by another artist, Kayla Carlisle. Shout out to Kayla Carlisle, by the way. Kayla Carlisle. Shout out to her. She actually inspired me. I don't know her. We don't know each other. We never spoke before. I just stumbled upon her video, and she's talking about, if you're an artist, just teach. Share what you know, your experience, your journey. And it's one of the things that artists can do. And I was like, you know what? I've been doing it for 10. I've been selling art professionally for 10 years. I've been doing art longer than that. But selling art in person and online for 10 years now. So I might as well go share some of my experience, my values, some of the things that I've experienced with this art business of mine. So that's what inspired me to actually start the YouTube channel. And I was doing it to see everything that she said, like people will appreciate it. And as an art community, we're also supposed to help each other out. Like when you share this information, someone will also use it to start their own business, and someone will use it to get their career going. And as a result, that I've seen that, because the comment is crazy. The comments that I get, it's like long comments, everybody just telling me what they're getting out of it. So that's what I was expecting. And then I get this link that said, you are monetized. Now, I've been doing this for free for 10 years. And I say, imagine if I was on YouTube 10 years ago. So that means I would be monetized 10 years ago, when YouTube would have been paying me for just trying to help out, sharing my experiences, sharing what I know, teaching what has worked for me. Hopefully it worked for you. If it doesn't work for you, it's going to work for you in a different way, because I'm in New York, you might be in Atlanta, someone might be in Oakland, someone might be in Los Angeles. Different customers, different customer profiles, so different cities, so different experiences. But it's all the same. It's art. You showing up, people seeing you, and people engaging with you and your art, and sales happen. So that was the whole thing. Like, What if I would have been on there 10 years ago? Now, do you see how far it could have went? So I'm just saying, if someone enjoys fishing and they go out, buy a little bit of fish, the hooks, the lines, and everything, spend a little bit of money, and they can go out in the river or in the ocean and ship and fish every day and sell it. Fish every day and sell it. Fish every day. That's like spending $100 and make $1,000 every week. And that's what sometimes I feel about art. It's like, damn, I went to the supply shop, spent $100. I keep using these supplies over and over and over, and it's not finishing. And I go out on the weekend and sell and come back and still, it's like, wow, this is dope. This is amazing. So that's what I want to share with artists. Like, think of it like this, what I said about the fishermen, buy the lines and the hooks, and they go to the water and catch fish and sell. Unless that hook break or that line get messed up or something, you can always go to the water and get some fish, because it's nature's giving. You can just go get it and just come sell it. Or someone who lives like in a rural area, and then they go into the woods, collect some firewood, and bring it to someone who uses the firewood, and then just sell it to them. Nature is full of firewood. You just have to just get up, put on your gear, maybe spend money on like a good boot, a combat boot or whatever, and then you just go in there, collect the firewood, bring it to that person who likes to buy firewood and sell it, and then do it again. The wood is not selling the firewood to you. You just have to go collect it. The same thing with the fish. The guy that fish go up in the water. The water is not selling the fish to you. You just got to go try to go fish. Someday you catch more. Someday you catch less. The same thing with the guy with the firewood. Someday he go and find a lot of firewood. Sometimes not a lot. The same thing with art. Sometimes I go out, I make a lot of sales, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. Sometimes not so much, sometimes zero. But by the end of the year, the upside is over 90%. Why would you even not consider doing that if you're an artist and you have the talent and people appreciate what you make? People keep telling you, yo, this is amazing. Are you the artist? Did you create this? This is dope. This is fun. This is nice. I love it. I'm not in the market to purchase right now, but you know what? Do you have a social media? Like, that's what you get all day. So I'm not saying that it's free money, but it could be kind of like a free money. When you're an artist, it could kind of be. And every time that I walk into a museum and I go to the gift shop, I look at how packed the gift shop is, and people just, we're not buying the original art. We're just buying the byproduct, the external product of the original art. This is what I just bought. Look, I also bought this, and I have a friend of mine who actually loved this guy, Van Gogh. So I said, the next time I see him, I might, I was surprised, like, hey, guess what? When I went to the museum, I got you a print. This is not the original. This is just a print. $18 plus tax. And guess what? This can be sold 1,000,000 times. It's just the byproduct. So, in other words, if you look at it, it's kind of like it's like a free money. But that is just the museums is a big business. On a small scale, you can create your own small scale business with that kind of model. The same way too. Whether it's your print, your magnet, whatever it is that you have, and then you spend less, you make more. Art is that's just the way it is. If you've been selling art, You spend a little bit of money on the supply and you sell it at a higher price. So all I'm saying is think like the museums, think like the fishermen, think like the firewood man, and think like a artist, but also think like a businessman. This thing is a business. This thing is a leverage, it's an opportunity for us to build business on top of our art, our skill, our talent, our career. So until you build a business on top of the art, having income or having some kind of money can be a struggle, can be difficult. If you just want to paint canvases and just sit on it and you're waiting for someone to buy canvas, a stretch canvas, in order for you to pay your rent, that can be a struggle. But if you think like a business and have a different byproduct, having an external product of the art, and like just like what I'm saying, being an artist, sharing my art, selling some physical product, but just having a YouTube page, sharing my experiences, surprisingly, I think I'm never gonna stop saying it. YouTube say we're gonna give you some money on an everyday basis. It's still so. Taking the art as a business, it can work. I think anybody can do it. If you start to see art as a business, then I think every artist can do it. Every artist can do like, oh, so I just have to have something that someone can buy. I just have to create something. Or even maybe if I've done it for long enough, I can teach as a content, and maybe someday YouTube can monetize me. It's not a lot of money, but still it's this money that now I can use that money for supplies if the money comes in. I haven't gotten any paid yet. I'm just saying that they just, like last week, they just said, yo, you monetize. Click this link and then follow this, and then now you in the system. Amazing. So now if that money comes, I'm gonna buy supplies. So it's pretty much like free money if you look at it. It's now I used to spend my own money to buy the supply. Now YouTube is gonna give me the money, so I'm gonna use that money to buy the supplies and then go sell it. So now if I can turn $100 into $1,000 or $500, if I get $100 free money from here and I go turn it into $500, turn it into $1,000, that's, I turn free money into $500. I turn free money into $1,000. So that's kind of what I want you to see if you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced artist that haven't yet thought about art as a business or building a business on top of your art. I used to teach 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, and we're having so much fun. But I have to wake up every morning, and I hated waking up in the morning. So I stopped teaching, and then that money stopped coming. But now I'm teaching on YouTube, and now YouTube say, I know we're gonna give you a little bit something for teaching. I think I would take that, and I'm glad to be an artist. I'm happy to be an artist. Even just the comments and people just appreciating that alone goes a long way. So it's not always about the money, but it feels good to know that someone will appreciate you and say, we're gonna give you a little something, a little allowance, a little something for your water, for your supplies to help keep doing this. So I want you to start thinking of yourself, your art, as a business as well. Other than that, I hope you got some value out of this. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share with a friend, to share with a friend, to share with a friend, tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. Click the links and go to my website. Go check out my website. You might learn a thing or two from a website. If you don't have a website and you're planning to set up your website, there are things that you might learn. If you know someone who want to purchase something nice and beautiful, you can also send them my link. Other than that, I hope this works, and I'll see you on the next one. Salute. Peace.